in this society, just distinguish what racism is and what is acceptable and what is not. We can't even come to a consensus about what is racist now when it's obvious.
We never have been able to do that. I mean, the fact is, historically, white Americans, by and large, again, not all white folks, but the majority of white Americans have never actually seen racism for what it was at the time that it was happening. So even during the civil rights era, which now we look back on as this golden age and everybody says they marched with Dr. King, etc., the reality is that 2 out of 3 white folks in 1963 didn't think that black people were treated unequally according to a Gallup poll taken that year. So if white folks didn't see racism, even when it was blatant, in your face, Bull Connor, Jim Clark in Selma in 1965, all of that, then why would we be shocked that white Americans are in denial about racism, even on the part of the president in this case? It's a long tradition of denial. He is not the one who originated it. He's just the current example of it.
So Alice, if the president is offended about what Samantha Bee said about his daughter, Ivanka, which was offensive, why is he not offended by what Roseanne said about Valerie Jarrett?
Because he's made similar comments. Look, the unfortunate thing here, Don, is that he had really 3 options on how to respond to this. One, the best option would have been to use this as a teachable moment and say this kind of rhetoric, this kind of dialogue, racist statements, homophobic statements, misogynist statements cannot be tolerated. I'm guilty of it. We shouldn't do it. He didn't do that. They could have done what they started to do, is just say he's busy focusing on more important things like North Korea and the economy, and not commented at all. But for him to take the worst option by saying it's not about thee, it's about me, and apologize to me for the times that I've been criticized, that's not the way to go about it. And unfortunately, he did make it about him. And it would be the height of hypocrisy for him to come out and criticize even Samantha Bee or Roseanne Barr for the statements they've made when he's made many himself. And it's unfortunate. I'm a Republican. I support him. I support his policies, but I don't support this kind of rhetoric. And this would be a great opportunity for him to lead the country in trying to stop, A, this kind of dialogue, and B, stop the normalizing of this kind of talk, and do the best we can as grown-ups, people with children watching, and trying to make sure that we don't continue to do this hurtful dialogue.
Okay, let's talk about some of these pardons. Okay, I know you want to weigh in.
But that's just the thing. Because Donald Trump has lived the life he's lived, said the things he said, done the things that he has done, and has, to my knowledge, never apologized for any of it, been contrite about it, repented of it in any way. It means that he can never lead us in a moment of unity. I hate when people say, Trump needs to bring us together. We need to come together. No, you can't bring me together under Donald Trump. It is an impossibility because I cannot be led by a man who is morally corrupt in this way, who refuses to even acknowledge that he is lying every day, refuses to acknowledge that he is offending people, sometimes without any merit at all, in this way, and never apologizing for that. You cannot lead me. You cannot bring me together.
So someone said this: you can take the boy out of the ghetto, and the president pardoned him. We'll discuss when we come back.